Tell everybody. Okay, we're ready.
Good morning. We're going to start the September 8th meeting of the Fountain County Council. Start with a moment of silence and then the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice. Did everyone have a chance to look over the previous minutes of the August 11th council meeting and joint meeting on August 18th? And do we have any corrections or conditions?
The only thing I'd add is that we'll have to vote on them separate because Jim and I cannot vote on the 11th.
Can I get a motion on the August 11th meeting?
Second.
All of those in favor say aye. Aye. 5-0. Can I get a motion for the August 18th minutes?
I'll make the motion.
Tom,
I'll second.
second by Dudley. All in favor say aye. Aye. 7-0. Review and acknowledge Treasurer's Bank reconciliation and monthly comparison report. Does anybody have any corrections on those?
I move to acknowledge it.
May I get a second?
Second.
All in favor say aye.
Aye.
7-0. Report of collections as submitted. Is everyone had a chance to look at the report of collections? Do you have any corrections? Hearing none, can I get a motion to approve?
So moved.
Okay. All in favor say aye. 7-0. ABC appointment. We are looking at Sarah Dunsing for that appointment. May I get a motion to appoint Sarah Dunsing to the Alcohol and Beverage Commission for 2025?
I'll make the motion.
Scott Ed,
I'll second the motion.
seconded by Dudley. All in favor say aye. 7-0. Let's move to additionals. We're going to jump over the department heads because we will have a presentation from on board at 9:15. So it's kind of going into that. Additional, opening the hearing at 9:05. 911 dispatch, we will need additionals for IDAX for $1,587.45. And for Caliber for $12,856.97. Staying here. She had previously spoke to us about this. These were additionals because of they have an increase in their fees. Am I correct on that, Kim?
Yeah.
Yeah, this was an increase in fees. And then the jail will have their fee of $5,910.03 for their Caliber. They're part of Caliber, so that they have funds to pay that. Does anybody have any questions for these additions? Yeah. Caliber is the system that they use. It was new last, I think it was new last year, is that correct? It is a mapping system, if I'm not mistaken. Is that what
That's
that
what
is?
all the 911 and
Yeah,
emergency management use. It's the reports then and. Tracks.
I believe that they are in the process of doing that.
Not yet.
But not currently, but they're in the process of getting that started. And hopefully it will. Work out.
About the Warren County contract, have they done any?
I think they're still in negotiations.
Yeah, they're working on it.
I believe Warren County came back with a number and the commissioners, went back to them, so. They're still in negotiation. Does anyone else have any other questions in regards to this additional? May I get a motion to approve?
Also.
Jim?
Second.
Seconded by Tom Day. All in favor, say aye. Aye. 7-0.
Close. Yeah,
Close the hearing at. I guess we did the vote before we voted, we should close before we voted. Closing the hearing at 9:07. Transfers for the jail from toxicology to office supplies were $450. Motion Denise,
I'll second.
second by Dudley. All in favor, say aye. Aye. 7-1. Now, we are now going to talk about the auditor's first deputy pay. Colleen has officially retired last week. And she was, we paid her a little extra for her knowledge and experience to help them get on their feet as the auditor. So we are going to drop that deputy pay back down so that is in line with the others here in the courthouse. So that would be. I think everyone else is getting the, I think it's $40,026.
yeah. Right? Yeah. Yeah,
So that'll go back down to be in line with the others, so they're the same.
I'll make a motion.
Denise will make a motion to approve. We change that,
I'll second.
seconded by Dudley. All in favor, say aye. 7-0. Custodian Larry has officially, well, unofficially, left us. He's going to work PRN, so on an as needed basis. So we do have a wonderful custodian here that would like to become full-time. And I think from what I hear in the courthouse, everybody thinks he does a wonderful job. And he is willing to and wanting to go full-time. Does anybody have any questions in regards to moving him from part-time to full-time? There is funding to finish it out for the year. And Kim has reflected that for full-time next year in her budget, so. Does anybody have any further questions or comments? Who might that be? His name is
Luke Woodrow.
Luke Woodrow. It's Monday, I'm on difficulty speaking, haven't had coffee yet today.
I'll make a motion to
Denise.
release that pay.
Denise made the motion, may I get a second?
I'll second.
Todd? All in favor, say aye. Aye, 7-0. On board, the demonstration, the gentleman that's going to be, assume it's a gentleman, it's a lady. On board management, meeting management. They're gonna be presenting here in about 5 minutes. I don't know if anybody had a chance to look them up online. But they can streamline our meetings regarding our minutes and agendas. They have different packages based on the package that you choose. They can also keep track of our voting and approvals. They also have the ability to do Microsoft 360 integration, which I think Jessica Anderson talked about at the APC meeting, that she thought that might be something that could work with your conversations as you move forward with the ordinances and the comprehensive plan. So it could potentially be useful for that as well. One of the questions that I had that I'm gonna bring up when they are online for the discussion is, I wonder if this could be integrated into the ability to have our videos or our meetings be uploaded immediately through this software.
She's my sister instead of us.
That would be great if we could. And there won't be any lag into keep finding the meeting or something like that. So, we got about 5 minutes. Are they on?
Mhm. Yep.
Okay.
I just emailed her, sent her a message, so we're ready.
Hello,
Good morning.
everybody.
We hear you.
Hello. I wasn't sure. Do you have
Uh,
Cutting out really bad, you're frozen right now.
There she is. You're back with us.
Okay, great. Can you guys hear me okay now?
Yes.
Okay, terrific. I have an echo and I'm not sure if there are a couple of speakers on or if you can hear me and there is not an echo, that's probably okay, but apologize.
We can hear you.
We can hear you just fine.
Okay, terrific. Well, I am Becca. I'm with Onboard. I appreciate the intro. We work with groups of all shapes and sizes, boards, commissions, and councils around the country, as well as around the globe. But I live in New Hampshire, but I'm actually from Indiana, and my hometown is just a bit south of you all in Terre Haute. So it's nice to talk to folks in Indiana. I will go through just kind of a brief demonstration of how our clients are utilizing the platform Onboard. Understandably, there are a lot of different, features and functionality that we probably won't dive into today. I do want to double check about how much time are you all expecting to carve out?
We're kind of open, but we probably like to keep it under 20 to 25 minutes.
Absolutely. Sure. I'm going to send a request to share my screen, and if someone could. Okay. It looks like we're good. And if you could confirm that you could see my screen, okay, we'll get started.
You can see it.
Okay, terrific. So the purpose of Onboard is there are a variety of different reasons that people will transition, whether it's efficiency or to provide the ability for folks to be prepared, more prepared for meetings, engage in better discussion, but minimize a lot of the logistics that come along with preparing for, board, council, and commission meetings. When you are utilizing Onboard, it is a cloud-based platform. So access to the platform for the users that are accessing it in the Onboard site versus the public site would be an email address and a password. You would have a screen that is similar to this and a tile that would represent the materials for your instance of Onboard. We do have clients that use Onboard for multiple different organizations, and in that case, you would have multiple tiles. But very easy to log in, whether you're on the web or you can also use it as an app on like your Android or iOS device. What I'll be showing you today is through the web, but just know the experience is very similar. So whether you want to pull open your iPad during the meeting to view the materials, you could do that, or even access it on a laptop or download and have the materials printed. I've logged in. This would be anybody that is accessing the platform through Onboard. You would typically access your meeting materials through the platform, and in this dashboard is where you would get the contents or materials for those. The dashboard is meant to be a shortcut to the majority of the information that you would need to access for any of the meetings. So whether it's a council meeting, commission meeting, all of those would be permissioned based on what materials or what groups you're involved in. We also utilize or encourage our clients to leverage this dashboard as a means of communication for the organization. So you could put shortcuts to different links that you might want people to go to and just inform, or updates and items that you could consider like a bulletin board for the organization. And then Onboard would also become like your repository for documents that you need access to frequently. So you would store those here as well. I'll show you what it's like to get to a meeting, and then we can talk some on how those meeting materials are put together, as that is often the challenge with regard to meetings, especially when they're held frequently. But if we were attending the September Commissioners meeting, we would click Open Book, and whether you're in the meeting or preparing in advance of that, you want to digest the information beforehand, you would see the agenda for that meeting appears here on the left-hand side. Again, this is one that's already put together just for the sake of the demonstration, but the book would be here on the right. And Onboard takes and puts all these documents that have been added in and compiles that into a book for you. So the book, you can scroll page by page like what I'm doing now, or if you wanted to skip ahead to a particular document, you could do that on the left-hand side. Each individual having their own access point to Onboard could take notes in those documents. So if I wanted to, mark this up in some way, I could take my own note, and those are my notes. I'm logged in under Becca, and I would see those notes. Nobody else would see the notes that I've made there. I could search the materials as well. So unlike a printed copy or emailed copy with several attachments, you've got the ability to type in something that you're looking for, and then it'll guide you directly to where you want to find that word or phrase. Also notice that I've got a variety of different file types here. So whether it be a PDF, an Excel, PowerPoint document, any of those formats could come in. I'll go back to the home page. Note that I've got a variety of different meetings here. If you were part of this council meeting, for example, you would see that particular meeting when you log in, if you were invited to see those materials. If not, then it just wouldn't appear. So it really streamlines what you have access to given whatever groups or committees you're involved in. And this is, again, this would be the access point for those that have access to the materials or into Onboard. We do also have a public posting feature that I could show you that could be leveraged then for posting these materials publicly on the website. To create those materials, I'll go into this September Commissioners meeting and just show you a bit about how that is put together. So this is the previous book that I showed you, but this is where that information is created. So you'll see that agenda here that was on the left-hand side is below. And how I created that is I just pull open documents from either OneDrive, an H drive or S drive, whatever it is. And you'll have those stored and want to bring in documents to compile this initially, or maybe it's a last minute change leading up to the meeting. You just bring the documents that you have, and you would just drag and drop those documents into the appropriate agenda item. And Onboard recognizes there's a new document in place and will rebuild that book of materials. It'll automatically do so in a 30-minute interval, or you could choose to just build it right away. So however far up from that meeting you are, if you did have an update, you could do that. Another strong feature about Onboard that our clients like, especially when there are a variety of different folks that are contributing to the materials for a meeting, is that you can add contributors to this point. So you'll have an administrator that kind of manages delivering and creating this agenda, but you could have individuals marked for contributing or dragging and dropping the documents into the appropriate section. So let's say that the financial section, there was a particular individual that provides all the documents for that. You would just permission that section that you've got certain contributors. And when you're in draft of creating this packet of materials, they can drag and drop their documents, and then you're avoiding having to send emails back and forth if you chose to utilize that feature. And you might notice you can also put timeframes on here if you did designate that certain areas or certain sections of your agenda were to take a certain amount of time. Onboard will then populate and again paginate that based on the amount of time you want to take per section. So you just say this section's 5 minutes, this is 10, so on and so forth, and it'll navigate those times for you. We also can capture minutes leveraging the platform. We do have a Minutes AI or an automated minutes feature. Since I came into your Zoom call today, I don't have that live, but I can show you a snapshot of what that would look like. It would require that you have a team or a Zoom call, a Teams or a Zoom call tied into the meeting that you're representing. And once you launch that call, it would automatically start to record and then transcribe the meeting. Here's the feature. So I would click that. If we were recording, this would be recording that. It would also then allow you the ability to pull over the agenda from that meeting. And this is where you would document those minutes. But the big piece to this feature is that once you've got the meeting completed, you stop the recording, it will then pull over or provide you with a transcript of the meeting, and then using AI generate a meeting outline. And you'll have a button that gives you the option to generate a first draft of your minutes. So in this example that I'm showing you here, what is in black was from the agenda that was created in Onboard, and what's in pink or red there is what AI generated based on that recording. So you can add, edit, or delete, but typically what we find is this is getting folks through, whether it's a board, a commission, a committee meeting, 70, 80, 90% of the way through their minutes just by using this, and then they're updated and saved from there. You had also mentioned some of the actions with regard to voting. I would be curious, how you see that taking place, but there are several things that could be added, whether that are just basic surveys for the group, nothing official, a quick poll or like a Survey Monkey or a doodle poll that you would typically be doing outside could be conducted here. Again, those could be done by group to the entire group and then captured, as well as then approvals. So these approvals could be done as part of a meeting and built into the agenda. And an example of that would be in that meeting that I had previously displayed the book. I'll open that book again, and you'll see that I've added in an approval here under the approval of minutes. And so for those, that would be the voting members, during the meeting, they would click view approval and cast their vote, and that would be captured. And now you've got reference to search for that at any point in time. If you wanted to reference, what was this vote? Was there any, discussion behind that or any notes related to? There's also the ability to capture signatures within the actions area. So whether it is that you're capturing signatures from just the group with access to Onboard or even outside of Onboard, we do have a DocuSign option. But these three features are typically pretty well versed in terms when we see clients with heavy governance activities in their groups. And then I mentioned this would become a repository for your documents. You could store those here, create your own files and folders, subfolders, and then again, permission who has access to see what. So similar to any filing structure that you're already familiar with. I did hear mention of the Microsoft 365 integration. So whether it be meeting materials or documents that you have stored here, any of those Microsoft 365 documents, so Word, Excel, or PowerPoint documents, once they're in Onboard, you do have the option to then update those documents through our integration. So if it were a policy, a resolution, or even just a meeting document that needed formatting changes, you can edit by launching the Microsoft window. It would save that document as well as into this area or into the meeting materials book and update then to all that have access. And kind of the last thing I think that I want to make sure to mention as well, once you start to use Onboard, you start to collect, a lot of meetings, a lot of materials, and you have newcomers that join the group might not know exactly where to find information. And when they're not familiar, or even if it's just years down the road, you're looking to find something, we have an advanced search capability that will search all of the documents within the platform. So if you're looking for a particular meeting, an agenda, an approval, or just a resolution or a policy of some kind, you can type the word or phrase that you're looking for, and it will search the entire system, and you can narrow down even by date. But here, for this example, 182 documents appeared, 8 meetings, 3 agendas, and 3 messages. And you can pull up that document and it'll show you where exactly that word appeared. So even if you don't know where something is stored in Onboard, you've got the ability to find it pretty quickly. Before I move on, I know I've touched on quite a few things so far. Are there any thoughts or comments or questions that you all would like to address?
On the ability for individuals to have access to this, is there a read-only or someone that could actually have the ability to edit? Is there a distinction between the two?
Yeah, so there are permissions within the system, and you can get pretty granular based on what it is that you're looking to achieve. But here would be an example of like the user directory for everyone that you give access to Onboard. Each person has a system level permission. So the admin of the system are the folks that maintain the settings within the system. They can also create meetings and content. A creator might be like a council leader or a committee chair that would be creating meetings on their own and creating those agendas. And then a member would be given access to view any materials, one of them granted them access to see. If you are creating a meeting or materials or any documents in this resource area, unless you give somebody the permission to administer that document, it is just read only. So nothing can be changed unless you're given the permission to do so. I thought that I would also provide you just an example of what our public posting feature is like. Any of the meetings that you're producing that need to be posted publicly, those agendas in advance of the meeting, you can leverage the feature that is either for that meeting or at a system level and on board. In this particular scenario, and I'm kind of getting into the weeds of the settings a little bit, but I know this is important for you all. There is the option to publish a meeting. So you could publish any meeting and it will tie to a URL that you paste into the website. So that's at a meeting level, or we also have like an overarching URL. I'll pull up an example of a current client that utilizes this feature. Here is the Virginia Military Institute, for example, their Board of Visitors. If I go to upcoming meetings on their website, so this is the Virginia Military Institute Board Visitors website, it'll show me here are their regular meetings, and it calls it onboard meetings dashboard. You can call it whatever you like. That's just the terminology they're using. But this then pulls up all of the meetings that they have produced and utilize that public posting feature. So this is the format they've chosen, just one overarching URL, and they all fall into accordance or align here. And if I were to click on any of these meetings, it's going to then pull up the documents in the agenda for that meeting. So we take that meeting that you saw where the agenda is on the left and the board or the meeting materials were on the right. It then produces that into a PDF format and a URL for you to paste on the website.
Becca, does this software have the ability to upload our meeting to YouTube?
Our onboard does not. We have Zoom and Teams integration for those that are accessing those meetings to get to those links easily. So if you had a Zoom or a Teams associated, you link that to the meeting. So if there was attendance remotely or needed to join, you could add that in here. But we don't have the Zoom reproduction capabilities to then have on the website. We're just leveraging that existing connection that you're already have to put in here to make it easier for folks to get into.
Okay, thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Can you tell us if there are any other counties in Indiana that On Board is signed with?
I don't believe so today. I know I've spoke to actually the folks at Attica more recently. They're not using it, but I have talked to them. But I don't believe there's any counties in Indiana today. But we do have a lot of customers in Indiana, just not another county.
Okay.
I know, Becca, that there's different levels of packages that you choose from. Can you explain those just briefly?
Sure. I'll stop sharing my screen and I'll pull up packaging here just to give you an idea of like how this works. Our platform is a subscription, and I've not prepared any packaging or anything or any pricing or anything to show to you all today. I would need more information, but I can at least show you how these are created. So we have 3 separate packages, Essentials, Premium, and the Ultimate. And you can see the set of features based on the dots that are selected with each of the packaging. I tend to see most folks probably, given your kind of scenario, at least in the premium package, in that you've got the voting, the signatures, and the Microsoft 365 integration. And all of that also provides you the ability to build the agendas, access to the app, the dashboard that summarizes things that are permission-based, the search features, and the Zoom integration, things like that. But any of the packages come with the security that we have behind the scenes from a cloud perspective. And we also provide our clients with a transition through an implementation manager. So they work with you to get the system set up and built out in preparation for those initial meetings. So they'll train from the administrative side as well as the group of end users accessing the materials. And then from that point, you have a dedicated customer success manager for more your go-to day-to-day operational needs. And then on top of that, always 24/7 tech support.
Any other questions? Thank you, Becca. We appreciate the presentation today.
Terrific. Yeah, thank you very much. Please reach out with any other questions, or if there's some follow-up needs after the call, I would be glad to help.
Thank you.
Thanks.
We'll get back to the meeting here. Department heads, Tina. Adam. Andrew. Kenny.
Meaning how we want, or how do we need to move forward with,
Okay, because you had some initial estimates come in and we discovered that it's over 50,000, that'll have to go to bid. So you'll have to let Aaron know and the commissioner at the joint meeting on the 15th that it will have to go to bid. And Kim will take care of getting that advertised. And so that brings me to our 22nd meeting in September. We're going to, if you guys are amenable because of the time that has to take place with the bid process. We had a meeting for the 22nd. We're gonna have to move that to the 29th.
Will the bids be even in by then?
Yes,
Well,
she's gonna advertise on starting Monday the 15th. And it has to
and
be 10 days,
then the commissioners are gonna have to meet to open the bids.
right, and that'll be on the 29th. So we'll have a short joint meeting.
Oh, on the
So,
29th.
yeah, and so they will open the bids
Okay.
in their portion of that meeting. And they make their decision and they will hand it down to us at the same meeting for us to make a decision.
Are we starting a joint meeting then on the 15th?
15, yes,
And then we're gonna have another joint meeting on the
for
29th.
like 15 minutes.
Okay,
And we're gonna have our budget meeting would be at 5:30 that day, if everyone is amenable to that.
I will be able to attend.
Right, because you're going to the conference.
Yeah.
Joint meeting 5:30 on which day?
Okay, so on the 15th,
Yes.
the joint meeting will be at 5:30. Because there's an insurance
Mm.
presentation,
Yeah.
correct?
2 of them.
2 of them. And then we'll scratch the 22nd meeting for us. And we'll move that to the 29th. We will have our budget hearing at 5:30. And then a short joint meeting at 7:30. Just for the bid process. And I spoke to Aaron to see if that would be all right with them, and he said yes. I wanted to kind of see what he was thinking before I brought it to everyone else.
So you already got 2 bids and the third one will also be.
Yes, but they'll have to resubmit to do it the proper way, but they do have two bids, and that's how they discovered that it was over the 50,000. Didn't know that going in. That's why they got a couple of bids, but they'll have to resubmit as well as anybody else. And I believe Kim is going to make it so that all bids have to be received by the 29th by 3, is that
I think
correct?
that's what we said. I
Is
have
that
it
enough
down.
time?
Yeah.
Even prior to
Yeah,
our
that's
meeting?
right, yeah.
Yeah, okay. Does that sound all right with everyone?
So we're having budget hearings today.
Yes. Yes.
Could you go over that schedule once more with so the first.
So on the 15th, there'll be a joint commissioner council meeting. During the commissioner portion of their meeting, they will ask him to advertise for sealed bids for the renovation to the health department building,
That's a 5:30.
and that's at 5:30
On the 15th.
on the 15th. So September 15th at 5:30, there'll be a joint commissioner council meeting.
22nd.
The 22nd, there will not be a meeting.
Neither council nor.
On September 29th, there will be, our meeting will start at 5:30 for our budget. At 7:30, we'll have a joint meeting with commissioners so they can open the bids, select their candidate, and then pass that down to us at the same meeting so we all can get the vote taken care of and get the process going. So joint meeting on the 15th at 5:30. Council budget meeting on the 29th at 5:30. Joint meeting on the 29th at 7:30. And the reason why 7:30 is it's harvest, and I know KW and Aaron would like to make it as late as they possibly could, so. I don't think we all want to be here at 10 p.m., so. We pick 7:30. Does that work with everybody? Except for that, W will not be here on the 20th, he has a conference 15. And I'll email everybody, so you'll have another record of it. Is Jason still on?
Yes,
Do you have anything for us, Jason?
I do not.
All right, thank you. Okay. We will move on into the budget portion of the meeting. Oh, I'm sorry, Carol. Not that I didn't want to hear you, I just overlooked it. Do we have public comment from anyone? Oh, Kim, do you have anything for us? Okay, I'm sorry, Kim. Carol, do you have anything for us?
I do.
Okay.
This, are we gonna hire a part-time custodian now to replace Luke?
Larry is going to work on an as-needed basis, so if Kim sees that something needs to be handled, or anyone else in the courthouse that works here, then they'll reach out to Kim and she'll get with Larry.
Is there any chance of having a job description where they go back to mowing and sidewalks?
I believe the commissioners are going to put out for bid, if they haven't already, for maintenance of the courthouse grounds, so that would be snow removal. That would be mowing, and that would also be light landscaping, so that would be taking care of the bushes and things like that.
So they would be hired as an employee of.
They're going to be contracted.
So we're doing the same as we're doing now, aren't we?
Well, the added benefit of our bushes will be trimmed up and cleaned up and things like that.
And on board, did they mention any cost to that?
We haven't gotten to that point yet. Today was just an information only meeting with them. So. Thank you, you're welcome. We do not, we contract that with Keller PC. Yeah,
So they would be the admin.
or possibly the auditor, since she generates all of the agendas and meeting minutes. Does anyone else have anything? Yes,
Just think it would be worthy of to check with counties. None in Indiana, even outside state, to see if they've had any good copies with on the.
good point, good point. Thank you.
No, I do have another comment.
Sure.
Not related.
Sure.
We have a road, problem on Dixie V West. We think it's a safety problem, and I don't know if this is the place to address it or not.
Have you spoken with, Jason Lewis, who is the highway department superintendent?
Have not.
You might want to reach out to him.
Can you provide me him later with this information?
Yes, I
do.
Yes,
Thank you.
you're welcome.
What's the problem?
Pulling out of West Dixie, the cemetery entrance has these big brick entrance things that cause a terrible vision issue with pulling out of there. There will be some houses going back in there that's going to, really be accentuated, I'm sure. It's dangerous. Coming into town, they're traveling pretty good. It's dangerous even coming out, but the people on the corner have taken trees out, taking bushes out to help facilitate vision. But coming from the south into town is extremely dangerous, and I've seen accidents there. And I had friends say that they were very close to a T-bone accident. And
even though I don't like to see people using that road, or they're going to two of us on this.
right.
They put those new streets in for that 70 home development. They will give you that road, and that, we lived there close to 50 years and we're aware of it, but if you're not, you can get back really easy.
And in the winter, you have to time it. Because if it's slick, you have to make sure you can get all the way out on the road before stopping, because you can't stop if it's bad, wet, icy, snowy, whatever. And that is extremely dangerous.
I'm glad where, but we better bring it up.
We appreciate you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
800 south was striped and Schoolhouse Road striped, white stripes, it's a. Community crossings, that felt like striped then, so.
Does anyone have anything else? Anyone else from the audience? Okay, we'll move forward with the budget portion of the meeting. Pauline.
At the end.
You guys read that.
Not really going to the hearing reviewers scheduled for my appointment with GCL and the afternoon is prepared.
Okay.
I have copies if you want me to scan it, you know, nothing's changed. Yes, it's the amount of these.
Nothing's changed, so we don't need it.
Council, if you don't need me, I've got 4. That's okay.
Yeah, that's fine. Thank you. She had handed out her budget. All it looked like this. Things like this.
Yes, that's what we
I really wanna go get it.
She says it's the same. Same, yeah, you said it's the same, that's it.
Yeah, it doesn't. It's just. When I have stuff, you all. Be able to move forward.
No, first release. And the second day. you think they're gonna done.
We switched it around. We switched it around. Look at that. I just switched it around. So everybody- Yeah. They're on like in a way.
Okay.
Yeah, no. So.
I just, maybe I need to talk to Ken. Once we have it set, the ordinance has to be done, and sort of review because you have the ordinance number and everything.
Okay.
And it's a part of that. Get it on.
Okay.
Take you a longer drive over here.
Well, Colleen, we appreciate everything that you've done for us.
Thank you, I appreciate it. That's very.
Yeah.
So.
Well, enjoy.
I put it on.
Okay, sleep in.
I'm trying, I'm just so busy.
I know.
Thank you.
Thank you. Next will be Stephanie at 10 o'clock. Somebody else.
If you guys want. Oh, here.
Is Jason still on?
Is Jake
Yeah, I'm
still
here.
on?
Jason, you wanna do yours real quick? The highway department?
The
Like,
budget?
that's not gonna happen real quick.
Yeah.
We better bypass that. We better come back to you.
Hey, Jason,
11:15.
I got,
Yeah, you do.
Yeah, 11:15.
Okay.
Jason, can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, I had talked to you about the covered bridge fund that comes out of your covered bridge for the county covered bridges.
Right.
I have what the total collections are through May of this year. And I do not know what we spent on the Cates Bridge. So that total is $242,694.07. You'll need to subtract from that whatever we paid out for bills for the Cates Bridge out of your Coombe Bridge Fund. And that's what you'll need to allow for budgeting for next year.
Okay, well, can I have that number one more time?
$242,694.07.
Okay,
And that's after the May collections on property taxes.
okay, I'll probably have to get with Carol or,
Right, and see exactly what we spent. But whatever's left, then will need to be set aside for, I believe there's a group that's gonna start working on the Wallace covered bridge.
okay,
So and then we'll of course get more money in the November tax settlement stuff. But
okay,
that brings you up to date on what there is, okay?
okay, thank you.
We're gonna do Amber real quick. She just came in. So this would be for the assessor under county general. So about in the middle. Page 8. Oh, so that's good. Good morning. Good morning. You have for us, Amber.
Well. Well, I don't know what to expect, but I do have a few changes that I'm gonna make to the salary portion of the Henry assessment. Okay. I don't know if all of you are aware or not, but we are taking the permit over about a part-time person actually assigned to doing that permit work, so I'm gonna use my part-time to do that. It's been pretty clear that since I've been there since 21, those last 3 years, our data collector has been able to be in the office part-time and out part-time and working. So, I plan on changing that full-time data collector position down to the part-time. To fill one of my part-time positions.
So this will be on page 73 of our book, so.
I've actually hired a school intern that works out and goes to school half a day. She comes in the last part of the day, they go out, properties. We try to do it in groups. For safety. She's doing really good, you know, in the summer. The plan is to continue to let them work critically. And for us to all get our data collecting done. So I can fill that position part-time versus full-time pretty easily.
Okay, so this would be your.
The data collector.
Okay. We have listed
So
as,
should be one.
okay,
$1,300 bi-weekly salary for a salary of 33,820.
okay,
So I want to strike that position. Like I said, they're gonna fill one of the part-time positions. I got 2 part-time on that budget.
so this whole position you're gonna take out,
Yep.
okay,
The next position I want to talk about is the GIS mapping. Linda has indicated to me that she's getting close to retiring. And has actually talked to me about hiring somebody to train and take her position over. I talked to multiple other counties, the assessors a lot of times does a lot of the duties that she does. So I am not planning on replacing Linda when she retires. I'm going to take over the splits and the mapping part. But as of right now, we're gonna leave that in the budget, but I will not be refilling that position.
okay.
The other item, so also on that GIS, so I moved not to have an increase on that. She's already making it well enough for personality, so I don't see any reason for an increase. If she's gonna retire, we're not gonna fill that position.
So you wanna leave it at 45,361,
Yes. Second item under that is the level 3. Okay, we had 2 that was receiving that, it was myself and Melissa. I just like one at a level 3, so I'm gonna remove that down to 2,500.
Okay.
Even if one of the other girls decide to do it, it's gonna take them a couple of years to get to that, so. So that reduces that line item to 152,452.68 out of it. By making those changes.
I'm gonna give that up again, Amber.
$152,425.06.
I don't. Which number are you changing? It's 600.
You guys are looking at something different, I'm looking. at
Oh,
this.
you're looking just salaries, okay, yeah.
So,
We-
I think it'd be easier to say the reduction amount from what was originally turned in was $191,029. It's reducing the line items about $38,576.
And your social security will change,
Yeah.
which,
Yeah.
Kim will
Yeah.
take care of that. Okay.
As far as other items in the budget, I haven't been able to. Spend a lot of time on, with the vehicles and stuff that's going on, the short groups. I'm still learning some of the contractual services. I don't have a good handle on those at this point, so I'm just trusting that Melissa. Yeah. Ask the correct. Do you have any questions for me? I will say, I know a lot of times, supplies are one that's really looked at. I can tell you, taking up the event portion. We are supplying a lot of copies and prints for the ABC and BZA. At their request. Also along with sending any kind of notifications to anybody that applies for various hearings. We're paying the postage. We'll be eating the costs for that as well, so. The supplies will be coming out of our budgets, so.
Instead of ABC.
Well,
I mean, if they have some
But it's-
budget, it should
yeah.
buy some of that stuff out of there.
I know the ABC, I don't know if they have requested a budget for supplies. I know they're coming to me and they're coming to the auditor to print a lot of things.
I love it.
So I'm not willing to lower my budget at this time, but I don't know.
He did do an increase on postage. And he did do an increase on printing and advertising.
So.
What I can do
As
is
far as paper and stuff, I'm listing internally in the courthouse, they're not covered. So the postage is fine, I can run the postage, neither other agency, they've got a line item.
Yeah, they did do an increase on postage.
Okay.
Sorry.
No, you do, you do, okay. Thank you, Doug.
So, but if my office is gonna take over the permits, I'm fine with paying for that out of my supplies, I don't wanna increase on my supplies, if I'm just doing that.
I'm gonna make a note on his for supplies, so.
Okay.
What about, permitting, are you gonna be involved in that now?
Our office takes it anyway right now, I'm still the one
That is maybe what.
I'm still kind of delegating the permit stuff out. I'm still doing the advertising and. Yeah,
Maybe that-
our office is still doing all that. And I'm in agreement to do that to help lower the cost burden for the county. Versus taking out additional line items, because we have to take it anyway. Somebody has to be accountable here in the courthouse to take those permits and answer the questions when somebody comes in. And we haven't changed since it all started. We are still doing.
Are you going to maintain a level 2 assessor position? And
Well, there are jobs that are in our office, they require a level 2. So right now, anybody that's doing like data collecting or data entry, we're supposed to do level 2. And we currently have no level 2s. I'm the only one in the office with a level 3. So I explained that it's a requirement of the job and you have to start looking for it. Okay, so the level 1 will be you could do a 1-week class at conference and be able to get level 1, same level 2.
okay,
And they will be working towards that.
okay. Does anybody else have any questions for Amber? You're ready to go? You're good to go. Thank you.
Oh, I do have one other thing, I don't know. if any of you've seen this, but on September 16th, we are doing a plaque dedication for Melissa. It's going to hang under the other former assessor that passed away in the office. New one,
What was it, but
the 16th. That does coincide, yeah, it coincides, Melissa's birthday was the 16th. We'd like to invite you to come. The family will be here to put the flag up.
Perfect, thank you.
Thank you.
Judge.
Yes.
Judge?
Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
Thank you for your time, your consideration, and support of the court as always. I don't think there's, I know budgets are tight everywhere, I don't think that there's anything that has dramatically changed. I did see that Bill is back in my report budget this year.
I don't know if they're.
I mean, that's up to you all, if there's anything moving out.
Where did it get moved to last year? Or this year, for this year?
Think membership.
It's always been here, hasn't it?
No,
There.
last for 25, they moved him out into, I think, the commissioner's budget, maybe. I did for sure, I remember that Paulman talked about it, said it shouldn't be in my budget. Support budget. Travis is still in the, other officer downstairs, he's in the sheriff's budget, I believe. Is that right? Yeah.
Bill never made it into the commission.
Yeah.
He went from us to the judge.
He went, but then he was doing over 2 years.
Wasn't in there last year.
Last year he wasn't. And I think that was maybe because of some of the overtime. So that because he started attending the meetings so that the court wasn't having to come and ask for an additional appropriation. Because when he was doing all the meetings, he was going over, I can't say for.
He was in the commissioner's budget last year.
But it only.
63 and 10, now he's 65 and 10. Yeah, it was in commissioners last year, it's not this year, but it's over here.
I could not tell you why I got taken out of commissioners and put back in yours. I don't know without speaking to you, Aaron. And
Maybe I'm not savvy enough to know if there's more I should have done or should, I don't know, but. As long as he's getting paid. That's really, it doesn't affect me personally or affect the court adversely, whatever's. Easiest. We're just thankful to have him with Travis both. I had talked to Kelly and Denise a little bit, and when you guys came up, I originally asked for a little more money to maybe look at moving the back hallway. And at least the wall over here in the courtroom that is. Erotic, for lack of a better word, and that's what the 40,000 was going to be. But then you also need to step back. So if you are going to dial that down, I would ask that you at least give the court 10,000 just for repayment. If you're not wanting to go any further with, and that may, some of that may be conditioned too, on what we find out. Tomorrow.
We have a situation in the courtroom, I don't know if you're aware. But when the process of changing the carpet out, they moved the jury box and found a crack across pretty much the entire floor. That is in some places a 1/2 inch wide and drops 1/4 inch. Now we've got the same problem in the treasurer's room on the same side of the building. So tomorrow at 2 o'clock, Aaron and I are meeting with the structural engineer. To look at what can be done for that. If anything.
Part of my concern too is that we have the tiles, we'll just call them up there, so we know what kind of tiles there are, some built. That are not to be disturbed, when we are doing things. Because they could pose a problem, and that will go with the practice stops there, so I don't know if you're gonna know how far it goes. With these tiles, so we very far enough. So, So we're not in the courtroom today, we're using a little, small courtroom because we just have the stock out.
Stop everything, cause of crack.
Yes, they can't lay the
The
content.
structural engineer can't come until Tuesday of this week, and what he originally talked to me a week and a half ago, so we just kind of stopped, so all the recording equipment, everything's unplugged up there until we figure out which way. Hopefully, he's gonna say it's fine. I'll just plug it in.
And if any of you want to join us tomorrow at 2 o'clock, by all means, please come. Here.
Well, sure, so should we look at rating building repairs for budget?
Well,
Don't what we're gonna do,
we can't raise
we
it.
can't, that's right.
Well, you
You
have
take away from
40,000
somewhere
and
else.
we're reducing that to 10, so there is some room to put some money in bill.
Yeah, well,
To 10, correct, from 40 to 10.
Because I said, what's the plan?
Since you advertised 40, we have room there.
So you could take 30 away from capital outlay and add that to the building repairs. It's 6-1, half a dozen of another.
Yeah, but we have to
Yeah.
prevent additions.
gotcha.
I did ask for more on equipment this year because Brad told me we have several computers that are gonna have to be replaced. They're sixers that I was gonna use their aimment, I don't know. Doesn't seem that old, I love that. He told me it's time. Otherwise, I think pretty much everything is the same. Does anyone have any questions for me? You should have the, state required salaries for probation that sheet, I turned in, if you don't know, and I can send that to you again. Those are required by statute.
The group that we're in for, is it public defenders? Probably it is. Has that amount changed? Good
morning.
Good morning. We have some new council members, so could you just touch on what you do?
Yeah, excuse me. My name's Mike Slagle. I'm the chief public defender for Fountain Park and Vermillion counties. So I oversee the public defenders in each of those counties. You have 3 part-time public defenders in Fountain County. In the budget, Fountain County's percentage actually went, went down a little bit. The budget went up about $8,000, and that's mostly due to increase in attorney salaries. And I've got this handout from the state, if you guys want to take a look at it.
Sure.
It's the median salary for all defenders across the state.
What is the median salary?
86 and some change
For full time.
for full time. And our full time are increasing from 80 to 85. Which the part time will increase from 40 to 42.5. And will still be below actually the median for the state, but that is also a significant increase. And then 40% of this budget is, most of it's reimbursable.
We don't get reimbursed from this meter representation, but there's a pilot project going on in how many counties right now? 8 or 9?
8, I think.
Where the state's looking at, the state's not plentiful with their funds right now, so I don't have a lot of hope that they'll do that anytime soon. I don't think they'll really scrambling for money.
Well, they reduced the amount of counties that we're gonna participate in the pilot also.
So it's just for, so it's Park, Vermillion, and Fountain County, we all went together so that we could share some of those expenses because. A couple of years ago, Park County was raising what they were paying, and Vermillion County was raising what they were paying, the report. I was gonna lose all my public defenders, so, this all does. keep our local attorney. In my mind. And Mike's good, his office is good about keeping us with the same line, so that we're familiar with the court. Familiar with the defendants, unfortunately.
We have 4 part-times,
3, I'm sorry.
30.
Really about 2.5, Washburn's not here that much.
Yeah, yes, I'm sure.
I mean, Mike will tell you. He's stingy.
So you're part-time.
Yes, yeah, and they don't get any benefits or anything.
They're all contract, public center.
Gotcha. So what's the quality of the performance?
I'll see him. I'll say that. I couldn't be happier. I mean, that's why
If they don't show up, the court will times for that.
I called him and told him you're showing up.
But that hasn't happened in a while.
No,
No.
we had an issue and that person is not a public defender anymore. And it was causing a lot of issues.
I don't know the person. Issue, I know. That I can do about it, so I had to question whether to point out.
So we have Ethan Myers and Taylor Powell, who are our 2 part-time, and they're very much involved in our community and really do primarily their practice in this area, and that was one of my caveats was. I mean, I'll be honest. I could just stop pointing them and say, we're gonna have to do something outside and still be contractually obligated, because I think we have to give a year, but they're not too bad, but Mike, I mean, he's very responsive.
You solve the situation.
I believe so, and the 2 main public defenders in Fountain County, that's never been an issue.
We work with them, we try to give them a bucket of time so that all their cases are at one time. Because they're working at a significantly reduced rate than what they could get from a private attorney. They're doing it, it's a community service, honestly.
If we have clients that don't have capability for counseling,
Absolutely,
they deserve counseling, they deserve competent counseling,
absolutely.
absolutely.
So this number that you have requested for 2026, 40% of that is reimbursable, is that correct?
Most of that is reimbursable, yeah. Actually, all of it is 40% reimbursable. Everything in the budget is 40% reimbursable. There are certain aspects that are not reimbursable, but they're not part of this budget.
And so how we do it is, not Health Fountain County acts as a nucleus for community corrections from a financial fiscal standpoint. Vermillion County does that, so Kim will send down every quarter a contract payment to Vermillion County for our portion, and then the reimbursement comes directly to you.
And occasionally, we pull public defenders from the other 2 counties too, when it's necessary.
I think that's why we went to this, because we were having problems getting public defenders.
Yeah, and I was gonna lose, honestly, Taylor and Ethan, because they were gonna be able to go down there. When we started this, we were only paying 32,000, I think, a year. Something like that, not much.
So how many in the pool do you have public defenders? How many?
I think there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 10.
And for the court, what that really helps is we have SHIN's cases, which are child remedial services cases, and it's not uncommon. I have a case right now with 6 kids in it, and there are 5 different parents, and they all have a public defender. So you can see where I would go outside of that 2 or 3 real quick, and so that's very helpful.
Anyone else have any questions for Mike?
Thank you.
Thank you. Have a good rest of your day.
You too.
Thank you.
Okay, Stephanie. Does anybody have any questions for Stephanie?
Well, the one thing that concerns me is the corporate. What do we have to do? Sounds like it could be used.
Yeah.
If you're not, but yeah, but.
And then we'll have to address the treasurer's report as well. I think the thing to do tomorrow when we come here is have them look at the treasurer's report too, so. We need to have some idea of what we're looking at going forward.
And we have another big crack in the probation all the way to cemetery room down there.
Just makes you wonder, did we have an earthquake?
Well, we currently did have some people look at it when we were going through the, with Arcatura and all that, they had all their people here.
Yeah, Bill said he showed the part of probation.
I have to look back at my file, yeah,
I
but I
know,
mean, you're doing the right thing.
I would suggest we at least move that 30,000 from capital outlay.
Yeah, I have.
For tomorrow,
Right, did you make notations on
I
yours? I did too.
see what happens tomorrow.
feel free to come up and look at the walls in the court reporter's office and yeah, the carpet's not in yet because Patton didn't want to come and smell it, so, but. And they ran some issues with the walls, but they don't, right, for now, hopefully they don't crack. Questions?
I think everything else looks pretty good.
Right? Well, I'm gonna go back to sleep. I appreciate it very much.
Yes. Oh, I do have a question. The CAPTA grant, CASA program. That's all wiped out.
Yes,
What happened?
well. We don't know exactly what's going to happen with it. Oh, you mean the money?
Yeah,
Oh, no, it's still there.
I mean, it's still there, but there's a difference, there's a reduction.
About half.
Mhm.
Well, because we don't do. Chris doesn't use a part-time person anymore, Warren County's paying for that, and then also the state budget, because that was reimbursable, we got grant money to. And we,
Not getting it now.
like federally, there is no CASA program funding anymore, and so then some of that's trickled down to the state.
Okay. Good enough. Thank you.
All right. thank you,
Have a great
everyone.
rest of your day.
Yes.
Appreciate you too. Hello, fellas.
Hi.
Come on over. Go to the sheriff's department. How are you?
Good, about you guys.
Doing well.
So as far as our budget, we didn't really change a whole lot except for a few things. And that was the medical and I believe the secretary's pay. Was like 11%. Everything else was like solid, 100%.
There is the administrator record.
That's-
Secretary.
that's
Department.
That's who you call.
Yes.
Well, let's just start with page 6, everyone. That would be general fund county sheriff. There's a bump in the retirement.
That's just fine, starting to catch up with us, and it's just gonna continue to increase every year, that's been my
Yes.
worry every year.
Okay, let's look at the jail side of county government on page 26.
That's fine.
What,
We're moving on to the next page 26 unless you have other questions. The holiday pay, does that include those extra holidays?
So we went ahead and put the holiday pay in there
Okay,
for next year.
Yeah, it was,
Because we haven't sat down with the commissioners and actually formulated, a definite plan on that. So both sides of that should go away. Whatever it is, $20-some thousand should,
20,400.
okay. GOA sheriff's side should come away as long as the plan. Then the handbook goes through. You sure you want to pay the jail plan?
not really at times.
What is?
Don't be hating.
Yeah, I will say that he's actually done a pretty good job of keeping it in order. Since Sager's gone.
Yeah.
So there's no complaint.
Yeah, no.
Let's see.
I know the guy.
Okay.
On your, I just want to ask, because this came up today on the Caliber, is contractual services, does that cover your portion of Caliber, the jail side? Okay. I figured it probably did, I just didn't know for sure. Anybody have any questions on page 26? 31 is kind of self-explanatory. I've never read that one's in Social Security. Looking at page 54, 1170. Which is your public safety. You increased your overtime, that's probably a good idea.
That was it, so on the overtime, and basically we've always $10,000. Our whole thing though with overtime. I would like to keep 2 guys per shift instead of having that 1 guy per shift like we did in the past. That was not good for safety of the officer. And it wasn't a good response time for the community. We're actually gonna start utilizing more of the overtime, put it out there to the guys, hey, there's no pay on day shift. You know, come in on the day off, work it, it's open. Just to make sure we're not shorthanded on those days that we don't have nothing else. So.
Understandable. Page, does anybody else have any questions on page 54? Let's go to page 58, which is county misdemeanor. It's kind of self-explanatory. Looking at page 69, retirement.
County misdemeanor, also. We get a payment every so county misdemeanor in level 6. So after the Bureau of Prisons had gone through, because they haven't paid us in over a year, they have underpaid us on the level 6 holding too. So we're one of the 30-some counties that's going to get a little extra bump from the level 6 holding. There's some that they've overpaid, but one of them is the underpaid. So because when they put that in,
49,000.
yeah,
They've underpaid us. So.
they have 49,000 plus 107 for last year's billing, plus this year's bill. So. And they don't have a date of when they're gonna get. They're gonna pay that, but they're working on it.
Cars. Those come out of, we pay those out of Riverboat, I think, that we, yeah. So Riverboat is in this miscellaneous section at the very back. Towards the back of that section. Page 67. So we had a situation, was it this year or at the end of last year, we got the cars from Allsops, they had some special deal.
In 44.
Yes.
We purchased 3 extra vehicles. It's again this year.
Are we looking for next year to
Yes.
purchase? How many are we looking at?
2 Tahoes will pick up. And I will tell you that Kelly Chevrolet out of Fort Wayne has already said that the prices of Tahoes are gonna go to a little over 57,000 for 26. They have 4 extras sitting on their lot right now, 52,000 right. So I'm just relaying that if we decide that maybe in a month or so that we can do something like that to get those for the next year, but I would say it's about 10 grand just talking about those, which is almost what it costs to equip one vehicle. So. I made it happen. No actions.
And also it's not business as a Chevy dealer anymore anyway.
Well,
They are not, so there's a whole big ordeal for warranty service and Chevrolet and just, they pulled out, so now they're just selling
What-
used cars.
What year are they?
So,
And do they have the engines that,
20 or 25s and for student models, they're a little different than what we have because we have the push button. These actually have the gear shift on.
well, I'm asking on the engine side of it because they had the engines that failed and there was some 25s that are still underneath that engine situation.
right.
So
I guess,
all of them are recall, all the 5.3 liters in the Tahoe and the Silverado from 21 through 24 are all recalled. But they don't have a remedy other than when you blow it up, they'll replace it.
right, drive it till it blows up is what you're telling me.
Correct.
That's even like the brakes on the Tahoes. The brakes, they're terrible. I mean, you guys are getting how many miles?
You get a set of brakes with a set of tires. Seriously.
I mean,
And they're about $3,000 all the way around
Mhm,
for brakes.
all of it.
yeah. It's
So
What-
they've been good vehicles. Of course, it's been, but the brakes are. And every police department has a complaint about the brakes where too soon. So Terry, when you get new vehicles, you trade in the old ones.
yes.
Okay, so there's some trade value to it.
Yes. So like for us, right now with the Tahoes, we're going to get a better trading value with the Tahoes than we do with the Durangos. The Durangos, we just,
Roughly 50%. Okay, is what Kelly Chevrolet's giving on a trade in, roughly about 50% of what you pay for it, so. You're looking at 23, 25,000 somewhere in there. We have 2 Tahoes and about $1,000 to trade off at this next go around, so.
Okay, so any of these 3 vehicles that you need, they have to be outfitted with all the emergency and placard, right? And that is in addition to the cost.
yes.
Okay. Do you know how much it costs to outfit one?
Much. We were,
We're just shy of 13,000
yeah,
last year.
So say 15, but
possibly because we're gonna have to go back to a different outfitter this next time. Because the outfitter we used before,
didn't work out.
did not work out.
And I think you went back with the company in Lafayette on
We're
the
going back.
Brady, right? Mhm, yeah. Okay. So Kim, do you know how much we get in per year from Riverboat by chance?
No.
We've
I
been
can find
taking
out,
the
yeah.
automobile equipment as far as outfitting, we've been
Yeah.
taking that out of 3 different.
I was gonna say, I think.
Yeah,
it's-
some of it came out of Kent Farm,
Yeah.
just said some of it came out of
County
County Farm.
farm,
Yeah.
cap outlay,
Yeah.
everything, you know, the DVD, that's like what you-
Yeah, right here.
Yeah, so there's that, and then we have the
Yeah.
county farm.
Mhm.
55.
That's right below Riverboat, the next one on. Page 80 in the miscellaneous. Well.
I know.
Okay, we'll just have to look at it when we get to that point.
Okay. On the, getting more of this. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, they're gonna have to, they have the option of going now and getting it, or waiting in 26 and getting it. But you need to place an order by when, if you had to order one.
That should run.
Yeah, I think
Should have been
so.
done in July.
So I've been in touch with Sheriff Pruitt, one county. Cause he would shop around, see where he could get them and, you know. And that's where he's at, this Galley Sheriff way, he's trying, cause he got his at all soft as well as us, but he's trying that place in Kentland that.
Sandra,
He could,
Yeah.
he could get it. He can for next year.
but not
But
now.
this year.
And we've actually bought from Billy Chevrolet in the past. And then also, you know, we started from him to the local. And just everything on the waste on that, so.
Yeah. Okay. Does anybody have anything else for the sheriff?
And the grinder one,
But
the
Grinder.
grinder's working.
yes, which. I'll go to the commissioners first, but we probably can look at having a biannual contract with that company that they did. Be sure it's functioning.
Sounds good.
I do have a proposal from them. I'll bring it next time. So you guys can see it.
Yeah, we're gonna have that joint meeting on the 15th.
Yes.
That would be great if you brought it, got it to that one.
Okay. I just think it'd be a great idea if we had something because. You know. When they were talking and we talked to your brother.
Yeah.
Maybe one day. We need somebody just to walk in, or we can walk in and take a look at, see what's running.
Yeah.
So,
Probably wouldn't hurt to have an annual inspection. That's a very costly piece of equipment.
that's what I'm saying, it's way too much money when you. Not having some type of maintenance contract,
Mhm.
so. I'll bring all that in and. You know, only 15, like you have with that.
Okay.
And there's still one we decided to build run. Storage,
Yes.
right? Yes. When you have an idea of what you want.
Okay.
Okay. Anything else for the sheriff's department? Okay.
Thank
Thank
you.
you very much. You guys have a great rest of your day. We're going to jump in with Lori Jordan and Mr. Kirkpatrick. She canceled on us earlier,
Yes, so thanks, Stitch.
so we're gonna jump in real quick and have her give us a quick presentation on what she's doing, or not doing, you know, wants to do.
Yeah.
And you,
You guys need one or?
you might have one of America's.
All right, I put some stuff together for you, we don't have to go through it all today. You have a letter, we recently changed our job description, it used to be secretary, and now it's been changed to be director. So there's a letter in here from Soil and Water, we had letters of support from Farm Service Agency and NRCS. You can read those. And on Friday, I sent an email to everyone that had a presentation in it and explained what soil and water was. That's in this binder also, and you can read it.
whenever you're away from here, but it gives the history just a little longer. It talks about, who our board members and also staff are, our structure of funding, our mission and purpose, current projects, upcoming. And also there's a sheet in here that talks about leveraging. So for every $1 that we invest in soil and water, $40.62 is returned in state and federal dollars to Fountain County landowners and producers. And I thought that was an interesting number because it ties local government to the federal government. So you're able to leverage your dollars by investing in soil.
$40 for every $1 we invest.
Yes, and there's an actual sheet in here that shows about federal funding and state money and things that are used to support soil and water.
Pretty good ROI.
Yeah. That's, we thought so too. That ties in with NRCS, so anytime they put money in, you know, we have somebody on staff, so their wage is considered worth that. Actual cost share to landowners and operators for conservation taxes was $1.45 million and. But you can take that back and you can look at it, so. We had an audit with State Board of Accounts in the month of March. And the lady who did it, she's familiar with Fountain County government, and we had a discussion regarding county officials. And so I was classified as just a secretary at that point in time. But I was listed as an official. And so other secretaries don't get listed on the audits or the exams because they don't have the financial responsibility because somebody above them was doing a little bit more, so they carried the burden with that. And so that prompted us to go through and figure out how many, just exactly how things work out with our tasks. So 65% of my tasks are administrative, and that's on the sheet here, the legal side sheet of paper. So 65% was administrative, 35% is technical and educational. So we put that into, a new job description. The board discussed it, there were a couple of board meetings. We went to the August commissioners meeting and they accepted the new job description. And with that, they bumped me up to director. So they could agree to the job change, but I had to ask you for compensation for that. So also in this binder, there was a sheet of paper that's a big sheet. It compares what local soil and water conservation districts are doing. So some people are considered coordinators, some administrators, some directors, and the salary is all over the place. So I think a lot of that plays into how many people are in your county, what your tax rate is, and that's how they get to that. But it is listed on here. A lot of them ask for funding beyond compensation. We don't ask for anything. We just ask for salary. So we don't ask for office supplies. We don't ask for equipment. None of our infrastructure because USDA provides that. We're cheaper. We're a cheaper government agency. Some of them have multiple employees. We only have one. And we now have a watershed project that we're working on, and some soil and waters do not have that. We also compared, I asked about all the secretaries, and everybody makes about the same wage, I think $37,321 in 2024. So I just looked at some of those and to realize how like this position was different than other secretarial positions. So that is just food for thought for you guys. And I don't know if I need to give you a specific ask for what we discussed, or if you guys want to discuss that.
So you're being reclassified from secretary to director, is that right?
That is correct.
That's already confirmed.
Yeah, that was approved in August, I think.
So we need to look at what is comparable to a director. Okay.
And you have, data for that.
Well, the very last page, there's a couple of directors listed beyond the full vote. At the bottom, secretary for certain positions.
And I have this also, and I didn't think of so much of copies, but I have for you guys to take a look through here. That is all the secretary positions. This is kind of where we started. This is what happens with other soil and waters, compared to other soil and water conservation districts. And we have two other people listed as directors. Yeah, so their jobs are probably, they have a lot more people underneath them, they're much more complicated, but we can get somewhere within that range. And then these are the jobs. So good. You can see those. So it might require further conversation.
I appreciate your homework. I mean,
Yes.
You've done well.
And we're available, and if, you know, when my board members, so when I call them outside of, an hour, and you're welcome to reach out to them if you have questions.
So I call on Sunday at 9 p.m. Friday. Okay, does anybody have any questions for Lori? I don't know, your budget is so lengthy.
Ours is fairly easy because
It is.
we have the support of USDA,
Mm-hmm.
and so we'll be able to use their vehicle when we start the watershed. We start copiers, printers, we have funding from the state to do our education and outreach, so it is really just salary.
Yeah.
Down with Sean, you, watershed, when you have a stir, and you don't find.
Yeah. Yes.
But, it's very.
Yeah, we're excited. We still haven't done a news release because I'm waiting to sign the contract. Because I'm afraid that there's something, we've seen a lot of changes this year in the federal government, and we've lost a lot of programs and funding for other things, so I'm not getting too excited until they say, okay, till I sign, and then I will, then I'll need to. Exciting things.
All right, does anyone have anything else? Thank you, Lori. Thank you, Mr. Patrick.
You're pretty talkative, John. There you go, moral support.
That's perfect.
Oh.
You're probably getting ready to go straight to the field, aren't you?
That's right, this afternoon.
Yeah, that's too. Well, good luck.
Well, they
Safe harvest.
Yeah, you do.
I could use it.
Yeah, let's take a 5-minute recess.
Thank you. I'm glad it's fixed.
Okay, so.
Next one.
No.
She was, it would have.
I mean,
been a
I
regular
can't-
email, I thought.
Right, and I was getting them from other people too.
I'm interested the other day, David's attorney put a special invite to his photo, like you're supposed to click on a link to see the other, but it was really professional looking and like from. It was from that, it's a kind of, and I was like.
I could see just enough.
I've dealt with them a time or two on different clients, but I was like, this doesn't seem right. They did not put that.
Okay. We're back. Yep,
Okay, we are back.
you have to
And we
stand
have
there. No, whatever.
Mr. Askren with this, the prosecutor. Good morning. We will start with the general fund. Just a little increase on your clerk.
Really, I think across the board, my only request was an increase in wages for all the
Yep.
three. State.
Pretty straightforward. Somebody have any questions for Daniel? Page 9 has a tab. I don't have any questions. Does anyone else?
I. Back to the court box video. I'm thinking it's something. Maybe next on the list or whatever, this will, should go on.
Better location.
I mean, I'm not. It's how to be, do that, it's commissioners, you do. Guys.
It would be nice to have a little bit better setup, private offices, be able to meet with witnesses or especially victims in cases.
Yeah.
You know, they come in, they have to, they may already been feeling down, and then they kind of get paraded through the rest of the office, and it's hard to think about when they're coming to meetings, and then to go through that. And then phone conversation with people on the line, to be able to have it privately with help.
I agree.
We do get through, with what we have, my budget over the 9 years seems to really stay pretty steady. And I seem to come back for years just to increase the wages.
You have to then just talk about it, what you bring into the county that.
I do not, I can tell you our conversion fund has got a significant amount in it. And we use the deferral fund on a regular basis for funding, one of our items.
Yeah, that's my only concern was one of the things. You service the people where you're at, not.
It's not. I don't like the setup either. It worked at one time. It's not working like it should now. So.
Anything I can do to coordinate that, if there's something?
Go stay on the commissioners too.
Okay,
All right,
thank all of you.
thank you. Have a great rest of your day.
That was easy.
Mhm.
Question. What's on here?
No, I do not at all. She never responds to anything I
It's
say.
gotta be here though, right?
Yeah, and Jason should be nice. I have a clock, it's just not enough yet.
No, I didn't.
So. We could put some people on back here, but like some here, if they have to stop.
We'd have to, it comes out of county general, so something else would have to be decreased to increase it.
Yeah.
But I think all this happened after she submitted her budget.
Does it keep correcting?
That's the problem. That's why she
And then he
presented it, because I think she wants it to be higher. It's 42, 28, that's not comparable. You get directors, but
And it's
this
raising
is
her up on the wall.
when she was Still separate. But yes, you're right, it's already advertised, so, but it's in county general, so you understand.
So when we look at her salary, we'll have to look and when they. Really not in that same capacity.
Yes, it's already advertised, so something else might want, but it's included in county general, so.
Right, and she really doesn't have
Doesn't have
anything to decrease.
She doesn't, you have to be in other county.
Oh, I don't know.
Otherwise it ends up in, you know, not to.
Yes. I mean, I think that's why she did us. She didn't.
I did.
She doesn't. So it could be something that.
Well, she does. She does in the bed for that.
No,
It's at the end, in general. It's the fourth one from the end. She is currently at 51,178. She's asking for 25 increase, so that is at 53,737. When you look at Lori and compare her to Tina, kind of the same as far as, you know. Tina does a little beyond. So. And she was kind of seeing. Two.
that's fine.
No, I would not, I would not for anything like.
Yeah.
Like faction forgiveness.
She did.
Also there.
Give us a number.
Maybe I would like to take it or something, so.
But you know, that's the worst society out there.
Yeah, because you. Let him have to take it from somewhere else, so that he can jump. But. If you go over that, over 10 over what she's asking for currently. Which I don't, we just throw the number out there. Between 40 and that's what I was thinking.
I really see that.
We're just waiting for this, he's not on, is he?
Jason.
Oh, Jason.
I don't think that's.
No, I think
No.
he's very rude.
Jason.
Well, hello there.
We were just looking for you on the screen.
Doing well.
What do you like to say?
You can stand if you want. So we're gonna do the highway tab. Start with Hume Bridge.
The consulting fees that went up from 20,000 in the budget to 70,000, did that come out of somewhere else or is that?
So
No,
this year we've been taking, a lot of the consulting fees out of contractual services.
okay,
So we're just kind of switching, just things down for each line item, when I'm pulling from here for certain things, we have money earmarked for each consultant or
okay,
contract.
that we're doing, so just trying to make it a little more easier to follow everything about it.
So is that for one vendor or several vendors, so.
Consulting fees is people USI and whatever we use for all the law, for, yes, that's basically all of the energy.
And your bridge inspection increased.
Yes, so the bridge inspection went up quite a bit because it is a new cycle. Our cycle ended this year, our previous bridge inspection, so starting in June, we'll have a new cycle, it will be phase one. And they go through and inspect every bridge in the county, instead of just certain ones like phase two A, so. And they changed how they do the inspections for the federal highway, so there's a little more detail to it, so. I think 1135 went up about 104,000 compared to this year. We pretty much kept everything else. So our matching for the first field two and 60 days has gone down a little bit this year.
Do we have any bridges coming up next year?
If that was my question.
We are going to apply for one of our federal aid, grant called Bridge 39, and that is down on Wallace on Schoolhouse Road.
So will that grant have any match?
It will, we have to go through the application phase first to see if we can allow, but the design will be completely out of our portfolio. The design piece so.
And so when would that happen? If that happened, would it be 26 or 27?
More than likely be in 27.
Because that's why it's not in the budget.
Yeah.
All right, any questions for 1135?
I do have a question for you guys.
Okay.
So we've got a whole, I asked for a couple, new employees. We do have some employees paid out of a bridge crew out there, and I checked our cash balance before we left in our King Bridge, and we have like 2.3 million there, a little over that. I was wondering if that is an option to take for next year, or if we can, for wages, salary, for those two new items. And if it's not, I just want to bring it to the question.
You said you have 2 point,
It's like 2.2,371,000, I believe. Okay, everyone.
and you want to know for 26 if you could take funding for those salaries out of Cambridge.
Yes, we do have a paid off that already.
We'd have to line on that.
Yeah.
Then we'd have to
Yeah,
advertise for
yeah.
that.
I was just thinking of waiting for out asking for additional.
Right.
Yeah, and then like you're thinking of doing your budget next year for 27
And
and adding to
yeah,
it.
that way we can use it for 26, so we would.
Yeah, I would think if you got it in there in your budget for 27, it would advertise that way when you do the budget, so you wouldn't have to re-advertise for the employees. The way it is now, you would have to do it, so. And we can't really, I mean, we can move things around, but we can't add to.
Right.
Okay, page 53, 1169 local road and streets. Contractual services went up as well as equipment. What are you thinking on those two things?
Yeah, what's in contractual services here?
Okay, so we have our charts that we use for payroll and time sheets and everything. Or while it's our pacer rating software that we have that I used to do our road assessments. Samsara is like a fleet management, which just started this year. So that's with another community crossings for USI, their piece. And then we have Midwest Spray come every year, it's spray herbicide around the bridges. To keep leaves and stuff off around those. So that would be what's going out of the ARPA services.
And then are you looking at getting something with the increase in the equipment?
So we were looking at possibly getting a finish roller, our finish roller is on last night, so if we were looking at using
Finish roller.
our finish roller. So this budget did increase about 60,000 with those changes. All of the asphalt, all of the gravels,
Any questions for Jason for over 1169? 1176. I'm sorry, 1173. County highway restriction.
I think we had like $25,000 for reservation versus this year. Our material, our asphalt and things, and I put like a little cushion in there for just an increase in asphalt and this year.
Sometimes we have no control over the cost of.
Do you see that going down? What's that, the asphalt? Asphalt, it's our emulsion actually went down this year, it was $618 a ton, it's dropped down to $595 a ton, so there's always a little bit of our asphalt stayed about $80 a ton average.
Okay, 1176 county highway MVH.
Oh.
Can we go back?
About what
Yes.
our community crossings match. We put that in here. Just because we didn't know.
Yeah.
We want to have to take care of ourselves and just come out and generally, how we guys like to do it, so.
When we start getting down to the brass tacks of the budgets, we'll probably decide then, but obviously we'll talk to you first. Okay, 1176 NVH, County Highway.
This is actually, we got rid of a lot of leases, so we don't have one lease that we're paying for, it's on 2 graders. So this budget actually dropped quite a bit.
Do you know how many more years we've got on this?
We'll have 26 with 2 graders to go. And the only thing we'll have is the good price, it was either if you guys want to do that.
Well, that is up to the commissioners if they want to continue on with that program, but I know they'll probably talk to us first, and that will probably be a conversation that we have during the joint meetings, so.
Everything else pretty much stayed the same. We are looking at getting new and dump truck next year. I've already got prices from 3 companies. And they're all out there, 300,000 more, a little less.
Where's? Yeah.
It should be. Equipment won't go up in the mall.
At the bottom of 1176.
Maybe 16.
Oh, got it. Yep. So that's for a new tandem, though, right?
We're trying to leapfrog every year as far as the hand grader, so to keep our fleet up and running. We did increase the route budget piece this year's.
When you say those leases are done, those were like dollar buyouts or something, still have the equipment, it wasn't something you had to turn back in without, okay.
Yeah. One thing that was one of these for $111,000 for
Right.
2 graders.
Okay.
So we do that next year.
Are the pickup truck leases, are those done or are we still? On this?
We're still on this.
Or you were here, so?
Well, I mean, it's not a, it's kind of like inherited there, from what I understand, so.
Yeah. Anything else for 1176? All right, page 62. Oh, that's still 1176. Did you guys see anything there on those other 2 pages of county highway? Page 61.
Is, you're up on salt, is it because, you don't have much inventory, right?
Right. Correct, yes, we ordered, I added another 100 ton of salt this year just because we were kind of getting down to the end of it last year and we just wanted to be better. The prices have stayed the same.
Let's get into it. Page 62. You increase your gas and oil, that's good, because I imagine the price of fuel is probably not that much.
Yeah, and we're actually sitting really well. We had budget this year. Everything's kind of well about as far as switch from series from Keystone to the new, so everything's doing
How are you getting along with the new
fine.
fuel? Good.
No issues.
Okay.
No issues.
Maintenance and repairs. You increased that because. You know, I mean, it's the equipment, it's
We've
wear and tear.
We've had, I'm rough around with it, so. That issue, you know. I don't get that, so.
Well, maybe something will happen with the federal government.
I know that's wrong.
Okay. Any questions for Jason?
So. If you want 2 more people, you want them for the year, for the civil right?
I would like to, this would, it would have to apply on the budget, and,
But I guess my question. Carol would be, is there any way we could use it in. Which funds leverage dot balance it, or do we have to additional that?
It would have to be an additional and have to be advertised.
I'll just. We talked, and they know.
That would be a conversation after budget time, because this would be included in this budget.
and we can, I mean, we'll start it over. For the original set up and everything.
But I think it can be advertised to come out of Cambridge.
I think
When
so.
we advertise this.
Yeah.
County General would say.
We just have to be added to the side.
Right.
If we would have to, right, to be advertised for the salary ordinance, we would advertise at the same time that it would come out of Cambridge. You know what, fund it, you know, so.
What positions?
They just be laborers, just need. So really, we're gonna have possibly 3 employees retiring this next year, throughout the year. So we'll have to find new budgets for them, but,
And this would be in addition to those replacements.
yeah, we'll just keep going.
I know you said you wanted them to do roadside mowing,
Mowing.
you know,
Running the maintain, we have a maintain.
Right. Trimming along the trees along the roadways and things like
Yeah,
that.
just kind of like.
Things that kind of been put off because you don't have the time or something to do.
No signs, just. We keep busy all year round, so it's hard, I can't. The people that's been coming in for applications are wanting full time, I still have part-time available. Insurance need,
How many positions do you have that are part-time that are open?
and usually the 2. Or part-time. We just have a part-time number, 20,000.
Yeah, it's great, 20 bucks.
20.
Okay. I have no doubt that you can keep them busy. No doubt.
Even part-time, there were 32 hours. That was, so, schools, kind of fun. People want.
What's just a part-time?
Part-time job, yeah.
Right.
So the anticipated increase in civil construction is on the county, seeing additional needs to maintain insurance. No, I think we have all more gravel this year and limestone for the roads and up to 5 mile. We got on the grading schedule every 6 weeks as far as that goes. We're trying to get caught up on the passion ones and about the hour on the hard surface roads. But I don't think that'll hinder anything. So I think we'll, and honestly, the company out here. They've been really good to work with as far as the maintenance of the road. They take care of everything. They have a lot of. They grade it on their own. They grade it on their own. They water, yeah. So.
The wood bridge on Mountain Road that we discussed last meeting. Is that posted by chance?
Should be. Should be, I think.
I think it is.
What it is.
I'll talk to you about it later.
Okay. You look at that, see, trucks now. Going over gravel roads, where you. Yeah. Cars, yeah. Thankfully, our road inspections are, yeah, but they're good, so that nothing that I know worried about right now.
We farm down there and I never would drive my truck, whether they're loaded or unloaded. One, there's no rails, there's nothing, it's just a wooden platform with chicken. It was probably not to cost the county any money, but. I don't have anything else for Jason if no one else does. All right, have a great day.
You too.
Thank you. All right. The ambulance department.
That's just. That's what it is. I mean, they used to do that.
They are in county general
That'd be easier than you, wouldn't it? Does anything
towards the end.
like that's better for you? We can look at it and see what works for you. It makes no sense. But we can look out and see what.
Starting on page 22. It's right ahead of the sheriff's department tab.
So. Fund 100, requested a 5% raise for all levels. What's that, the numbers here reflect that. I do know that on my sheet, I put under the 15,160 up the vacation sick, what it says in yours. Just a part-time pay, we changed that last year, if you remember. So.
What should it be going?
Part-time pay. It's easier for all of us to understand what that is for.
On the 16,000.
Yes,
Yeah.
I think I put vacation sick, I followed that, it shouldn't be part-time.
Okay.
And then under the part-time, I don't know if it showed on your sheet, but I turned in, on the part-time EMT, basic EMT, and advanced EMT and paramedics to give them $1 raise, so we went on basic EMT. Presently, right now, we're paying $21 an hour. Moved that to 22. Requesting that, part-time advanced EMTs, we're presently paying them $25 an hour. Increase it to 26. And then the paramedics, part-time, we're presently paying 30, and increase it to 31. Any questions on 100s? And obviously the overtime, we all know where that's at, that reflects the 5% raise, so depending on what you guys decide, that number will fluctuate. And I've demonstrated this year, we worked very hard on, not letting a lot of overtime go out. The full timers would be part timers, so that number will be a lot less too next year too, depending on how things go. So any questions on abundance? Under the 200s, for the most part, it stayed the same. We'll say on gas and oil, presently, I asked for 45,000 in present budget. So right now I'm sitting at around 14,404 the rest of the year.
Remaining.
Yeah.
Kind of remaining. Okay.
I'm projecting I'm gonna need 19,000 total, so it leaves me about a deficit about 4,500 to 5,000. I think I'm gonna kind of ride it out a little bit, because a lot of times I've been returning money back, I'm gonna move some money around, go back up in there. Overall, right now, the prices are staying the same. One thing I'm looking at is we still have fuel tank in Attica, that's with Keystone. You and I talked about that a little bit. They've increased that SET tax on me, which is like a state excise.
Yeah, it's
tax.
size.
I'm not real happy about that, so I'm looking at possibly changing maybe signal below, but on a barrel, realize it.
Is there, I know there's a way to get a refund back.
Right, about that, and we never followed up with
Yeah, we
that.
never did much with
I
it.
need to look at that, but if they're gonna continue to raise the price and Newton oil is gonna stay less, then I'm thinking
Switch.
switch. And then keep it across the board and try to help save some money, you'll
Yeah.
side of it.
Right.
Damn, Garth, there goes part of my pension.
Tell them they're ready to go to the prices. Yeah, but right now, I think that originally thought I was maybe have to come back and additional for that. But looking at the numbers, I'm gonna just ride it out for a while and see, and then, like I said, if you look at what I've done every year, I have returned money. I think we might be okay to move some money around and pick that up on that, so kind of sit tight on that right now. I did ask for the same amount for 2026 as I had this year. I'm just gonna leave it alone for now. Let's see where we
It may
are.
change when you change to Newton or something,
Yeah.
you know.
Let's see how that works. Medical supplies, this year I asked for, in my 2025 budget was 60,000. Right now, we're setting it at 25,000 for the rest of the year. I'm hoping, fingers crossed, I'll get through the year. I'm gonna play that lady game with it, I can't control prices.
Right.
And now prices are just. Josh Josh does my medical supply ordering. He's coming to me all the time, and there was a thing that like monitor pads, they jump like 30%. And it just, they have to have it, so, but anyway, just to give you guys, I did go ahead and put another 5,000 in for 2026.
Just in case.
Just in case, I'll keep you updated for this year's budget, but just to give you guys up, I'm set at about 25. I'm gonna kind of, again, write it out a little bit and see how we go on that. Pretty much everything in there stayed the same throughout in the 200s. In the 200s. Anybody got any questions on the 200s?
I do, but I think it may come into the 300s. I was gonna ask you about the medical supply and. Machine.
Yeah, so basically what it is, the medical machine, I think, is really proven, it's working well, we're controlling things better, the out of date things are getting us in the pricing. That's just the way, unfortunately, we deal with. But as a control, I think we've got a better control of the product, and unfortunately, it's not walking out the door without some accountability to it. But it's set up that if we spend a certain amount of money, if we remember, that we don't have to pay a rental fee for it. And I think, so we signed it last July, and we went to this July, we were way over the amount that they required. I think we had to have spent 45,000 on it.
Mhm.
We were upwards of 53 or 54,000 with them, so we were way ahead. Now, it does increase every year, but it's not a big amount. But it does increase, and looking at what we spend, and we've streamlined a lot of the product through them. And the prices are very competitive with everybody else. So, I think we're gonna be okay. So,
Do we lease that machine
or
or,
kind of lease, yeah,
or do they base it off of the amount of product? we purchase?
basically lease, what basically what we buy.
Okay.
You know, if we don't spend the amount that they say, a lot of times we will owe the difference.
Mhm. Okay.
But what I saw from this year, and I think we're gonna be okay.
Okay.
300s, under the medical director, I've kind of been communicating with you guys the last few years, we are getting out pretty easy with the medical director. Most of your medical directors around, I've checked, around. They usually charge about $8,000 to $10,000 a year to be a medical director. So, I did put in, you know, I call 10% raise for that, because we were paying this year $3,300. So for 2026, I'm requesting 36, 10%. He does live here in our community, and he likes to do it, it's actually works at St. Vincent's, you guys don't know, he's still there. But we need to look at getting that, continue to look getting that number up there a little higher. Because like I said, if he were to step down, we're looking at about $8,000 to $10,000 for them. So we have to have it in order for all of us to be able to perform as paramedics, EMTs, or the ambulance service to even function. You have to have it done. I did notice something here, and I'm hoping I missed it, I'm hoping it didn't happen, but. I don't know what's showing yours, was there any dollar amount in telephone?
No.
Nothing, that's what I was worried.
That's why I was hoping it didn't happen. Okay.
I was gonna say, did you get rid of your phone?
No, I did not. That was a total miss, I just come across it. This year for 2025, I had $4,200 in it.
Mhm.
Where do we go from here, then, because this has already been advertised, right?
We just have to take a little bit from others here to equal the 4,200. We can see to it that it needs to be done.
My apologies. I just called it, I apologize, I saw that, and I was hoping that it was wrong on my end. Fortunately, it wasn't. When you guys do that, you get with me and we can work together to try and figure out, so you need, we need to pull from other line items.
Yeah. Yep.
Okay, that's not helpful, I'll take a blame for that. Pretty much everything else in 300s. Good. Didn't increase postage, but that's because the postage did go up on us. So.
Yeah, and it's gonna go up again.
Yes, sir. Any questions on the 300s?
I don't have any. Does anybody else?
400s, obviously building stayed the same, did put in for a request, this is continue on, either. Number one, what we're looking at is replacing small. Like 2 or 3 monitors or cots, each year. Or if we were to decide to revisit the MS Plus program, this would cover that, I think with the way I kind of explained to you guys a couple weeks ago, referenced the, we were purchasing a new truck. We can go through Sourcewell or Static program, which helps with, contracting, the contracts and the, bidding process. We could also do that same process with, the equipment, medical equipment.
What's that company called again?
Sourcewell,
Sourcewell, that's
or another company called Savic.
Savvy.
Yeah. I still recommend the MS Plus program. Prices are not stopping going up.
And that's the COTS and the, all of that, right? Okay.
And there's some things in there that we originally put in that we can cut back on, I think we can get the cost down. You guys will really wanna look at that, but otherwise that's covering cots and monitors for 2026. We need to start replacing, just a reminder, I have 2 monitors right now that cannot, if they are to be worked on, I'll get charged an hourly rate. For that, they cannot be included in, I do a preventive maintenance program with all of them, those 2 are excluded. So
you still have money in your equipment fund?
I do presently right now, which I think possibly could cover 3 monitors this year. You know, if that's the way we wanna go, or we can look at the MS Plus program too. 2 radios, put in their furniture, this is for both stations, most of the furniture in both stations are the original furniture from when we moved in 2013. So it's, I'm gonna need to probably look at replacing this in beds, chairs, tables, things like that.
What are you putting that under?
That's under the, I put that under the 441 lines underneath. That's the total of 236. Under that includes the monitors costs, which is 208,000.
Yeah.
The portable radios, I need 2 more, that's $7,800.
Okay.
The furniture for both stations, and that's county adequate station,
Yeah.
you know, it's 10,700. Something that should have done a while back. We didn't, we do not have security cameras at Station 1. And I think it's important that we need to have that. So that has been quoted out at $9,500.
And station 1 is Petersburg, correct?
Yes.
Thank you.
What was that now? Yeah, station.
For the security cameras, 9,500.
9,000.
That's cameras all the way around the outside, and then cameras in the bay. I think it was PCC quoted, I'm pretty sure, yeah, about 20 to 25 cameras.
Do we have anything at the Attica station?
Cameras, no, we do not, with it being the city, we've never had anything put there.
Office down there.
We not really, it's kind of outside of, yeah.
I know it's there, but
Fortunately, yeah. The biggest thing we ran into at the Beaver Station is people using our lawn as a bathroom. People driving around the whole building instead, they'll go around the backside and they can't get through, so they'll drive all the way around and come back around. Yeah, it's, and you know, with the jail next door, you know, and it is what it is, but they release the individuals. And they're on their own. There's no law out there for the, well, there is a phone for them to use, but they have to pay. They don't want to pay. They've been numerous people walk into our facility and it's a little sketchy when he's a phone, we got to sign up that you can't. And we had one individual that was hanging out in the ditch for whatever reason, I have no idea. Yeah, and it's just pressure. People come off the interstate, it's just. You know, I think it's, you know, 14 years ago, we didn't have to worry about it, but society is right now. There's, you know, God forbid anything happen within my people, but we need something there to help.
Well, it's evidence,
Yeah, and I
it shows evidence.
I've been reluctant on doing it. I think it's time to run something seriously look at doing something where providing more security.
Okay. Any questions on the foreman groups?
KRPC, they based, social security services.
Yeah, he puts in cameras.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yes, I didn't know.
yeah, he dabbles about everything. Okay. But yeah, he's putting cameras, I think he's put some. I can't tell you exactly where all he's done, but let's put the cameras way other places and. So he will work some doing it. So, yeah, no, it's nice. Yeah, I mean, like I said, I. It's been, I've been a little reluctant on doing it, you know, I mean, we got ring bell camera. But it always shows the front door, it don't show anything else, and I just. I think it's time to run a half a little bit better security there, and I think. You know, where we go with the Attica station, I think that can be included in with them up there.
Yeah, Larry will probably.
You know, so I don't think too much to worry about that.
And they're working on kind of some grants or funding for that option. Yeah, that's some of the starting.
What I'm understanding,
Mhm.
you guys seen the drawings, the preliminary drawings, I think there's some. Last I talked to Larry, there was some reluctance on where they were gonna put it. You know, location wise, I don't think he's ever got an answer. I know there is a little bit of shortfall on the money side of it. I think he said it was around $400,000 or $500,000 shortfall. The unfortunate thing is when we went to look at it, I can't remember if you were there or not. The grant writer had an architect on the phone with us, and we were looking at like a whole barn facility, and we would then be finished inside. Because we are an essential service, you have to build it to withstand high winds.
Yeah.
We're under Homeland Security rules.
Yeah, and unfortunately that, you know, where that.
Technical.
And also with IOTA grant, you gotta follow certain levels of pay. You ran into that with Station 1.
Prevailing wages.
The staff, but they called it now, so it's called the Davis-Bacon law. And it really increases the price tremendously.
You have to follow prevailing wages.
Yeah, and so with those two things in mind,
And the county can't have anything to do with the bill. We can't go in conjunction with the city with, if they're going after this Oprah grant, it has to be the city because it's in the city limits. We can't have anything to do with the building. So. Okay, question. I know we go over this every year. EMTV advance, how many do we have?
so presently, what I proposed to the point you want now, or what I.
Current and then what you propose.
Okay, what I propose,
It's, page 22 on the ambulance, first page.
so what I propose in 2026 is 5 advanced EMTs. 7 EMT basics. And 10 paramedics. Presently,
So we got advanced at 7 proposed, EMTB at 5 proposed,
the other way around, advanced is 5, okay.
5, and
Or
then
7, yeah, and then the EMT basic 7, paramedics is 10. What do we have now? Right now, we have. I believe 4 advanced EMTs. I got 1 still in testing. Basics. I believe right now we've got 9. Yeah, and then 9 paramedics. So that makes 22, right? 9, yeah, 4, 22, yeah. But I think that there could be potential that some of that may change. Depending on, number one, if the one doesn't, can't pass the testing on the advanced. And then on the paramedic side of it. When that was going back in flat. He doesn't pass and, you fluctuate that money, those are the things that you can solve. So questions for me, what's your concern and questions about my budget?
Well, overtime, but I mean. It is what it is.
And as what, you know, maybe you guys discuss, maybe this is the time, any solutions?
I don't have any currently. And just the increase in the dollar in pay, but that's not a concern. I mean, it is, but it isn't.
And that's, I have to put the 5 in, obviously, you guys look at it. I can go across the board. Raise, you know, if you do, I don't know if it's or not, so if it goes 3% or 2% raise, obviously those numbers are going down.
Fluctuate.
Yeah. And the reason I did 5, you know, when we discussed this back in 2023, the agreement would ask for a raise. We didn't do it in 2024 or 2025, so put in for 2026 a raise.
So the line item 16,000 should actually be part-time pay, not vacation sick.
Yes, yes.
That's what you said.
Yes, we changed that last year,
Mhm.
a lot of confusion for you guys, which is understandable, that's why we changed to make it easier for you guys to understand that.
Ambulances. Are we due to get one for 27?
Points, I think with what Dudley talked about is we were trying to do it every other year. Obviously, we've got one that should be delivered sometime, hopefully here in the next month. But if we want to stay on the even years, we really would look at sometime 2026. And I think we do need to look at that. One of the 2018, I think it's about 170,000 miles. 161, excuse me, 161. And then the 2022, we're pushing 120 or 130,000 on that, so ideally I would get rid of the 18, the 2018 first, and then the 2022 would slide into a Med 5, basically the reserve. I would, my recommendation is we need to look at one in 2026. So that we can stay on, I think if you go to 2027, we're going to get back in what we was a couple 3 years ago. Even though we're still getting one here, hopefully the next month,
Right.
still, I think to keep us where we need to, and I think we need to look at seriously that Sourcewell program, because you can utilize that towards.
You can get it sooner,
Yeah,
cheaper.
right, because if we do the same thing we did with the 2024s. We'd have to get on it right now, just to get it to 2028. So, you know, and it's a process, we all know that, you know, all that, we all know, money and time is what's.
If we use Savick or Sourcewell, do we have to go through that bid process? I think they are.
They do that all for you, and Jason uses it all the time with all of what he buys. And, we did not know that Fountain County had it, you know. So I talked to Jason, and Jason said, yes, we do. Now, the recommendation is, great, 2 separate ones, keep it clean. But if that's the way we go, we can come across that, we don't have to make a decision today or yesterday. I listening to and talking to a lot of other agencies, they utilize like Sourcewell or Savvy to buy equipment. Just speeds the process up. in turn, it saves money, because then you're not paying out for still bids and you know,
Oh, we have tons of everything.
and then the time.
Yeah.
You're looking at 2.5 years.
Right. Where do we purchase those out of? Ambulances. We've always gone out of county general with that, haven't we?
That's what I believe.
I think it was one of them was that, the other was seated, wasn't it? One was out of county general.
Not sure about the-
Seated.
that one.
Now, there is a balance in there right now, which is for. Reef.
Mhm. Yeah, we can do that.
Definitely. And you're probably looking around. I'm gonna say lowest 375, highest 400, for one, if we were to. Buy a pre, already on bills.
Lots to think about. I think, how much did you say we have if we went through Sourcewell, like, please, is that what you just said?
Yeah, 375, 400, both of them, yeah, or, I don't know, I can't speak for Saturday. But you could also, the one thing with the Sourcewell, Savick is the same type of company as Sourcewell. Sourcewell is global, so they obviously they do like county highways, stuff like that. Savick specializes in fire and EMS.
Mhm.
So, you know, they're not global, they're not large like Sourcewell. But talking to talking with the striker representative, we can use Sourcewell with that if we would like to move forward with the EMS Plus program. We can utilize that, and it does the same thing, it bypasses, if you remember last year, our hangup was, we were over the $150,000 threshold. The attorney said what we need to do, we ran out of time. We wouldn't have to do that, unless we were with the MS Plus program to utilize Sourcewell. You don't have to do that bidding process, they do all that for you. Basically, what I understand is that the companies, all the different companies put in their bid. And they've already done it for you, you don't have to go through the long process that we go through. For this.
And obviously, it's legal to do it that way.
Yeah,
because
absolutely.
The housing department uses it, so.
Yeah, I asked that question, and I'm like, okay, I'm used to. Coming in, put a general bid together, doing still bid, you guys will make a decision.
Right. Okay. I don't have anything else for her, than anyone else? When we start getting down to the brass tacks of going through everything, we may need to come back in. That's what we'll discuss about telephone and.
Yeah.
You
Stay up.
just don't want to take any phone calls.
That's the whole.
Put 0 for mine.
Yeah.
We're zero and everybody else. No one's gonna be able to call.
Nice.
All right, thanks, Garth.
All right, thank you.
Appreciate it. Stephanie, which one is she?
Drug free.
Drug free.
I think it's in the
It's
bag.
in miscellaneous, like,
Yeah.
first one,
Yep.
yeah. The person who handles this is Stephanie Down, and she's not with this, but hers has always been very straightforward, looks like she's decreased things, so. I don't have any questions. I just like that as well. Then jump on a good one.
Mhm.
Anybody have any questions? Thoughts?
Okay.
Mhm. Page 20.
He had. Holiday pay. Why the increase in that, I didn't call, he explained that.
We didn't, but are they getting more holidays? Did you guys increase those?
They said we couldn't until they redo the handbook.
Oh, that's right.
I mean, everybody put it in their budget, but
You never,
they
talked
said we
about that.
couldn't do it.
Yeah, I mean, they can't increase the holiday days because it's gotta go through the handbook. Which,
I'm concerned about both those departments just throwing that in there and starting
Yeah.
with the pay and the extra holidays and that also. I think it's a big ask right now, with the budget is and the enormous.
well, we may have to take away from that since we have a cell phone.
I'm going to show both of them. They're both pretty good now.
Yeah.
I think we need to study those a little bit.
Does anybody else have any other discussion?
I have my wife,
You know,
all my blood, we're super busy, we're short of. I'm
Oh, yeah, that's fine.
Yeah,
That's fine.
I'm getting texts like crazy.
those are. We're.
Have a good day, guys.
Have a good day.
Sorry.
Money that
No,
we're
you're
gonna
good.
request out of the special purpose way can be used for emergency services only, the way that goes, correct?
Well, for
And
Only ambulance, that was my question, is it only ambulance or is it emergency services? That one's on my house right here,
Wants to share it, but it's already.
because I wondered about
Yeah.
cars if needed.
Yeah.
I'm sure department, some of that could be used there also. I didn't know how.
Our insurance is going up too, cause
Yeah.
we keep breaking codes.
yeah, there's been.
Yeah.
There's some
I
big
mean,
crazy
here
ones
they
that-
have, it's gonna
This year was, yes.
go up a lot.
Yeah.
Insurance is in here, liability insurance is in there.
Yeah,
Probably in the county general.
yeah, I think it's under,
It's not in the sheriff's budget.
no, I think it's.
It's in the general budget, but it's,
There's,
yeah.
yeah, liability. 625. They just kept it the same.
Anybody, more insurance.
No, because they didn't know at the time when they filled this in.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mhm.
One concern I had, not concern, I think we're okay, but I'm a little nervous, I guess, about the assessor's office, that she's taking Linda's, not gonna replace Linda, but she's gonna take that on. Plus, she's going down a part-time. And if they take on more and more permit things, if we ever get the APC to move forward on something, she's gonna get burned out awful fast. But she's leaving Linda's salary in there just at a lower. So then I was like more okay with it, because I guess that'll give her room if she
Right.
needs to hire. My fear is she's
Sure.
taking too much herself,
Mhm. Mhm.
and I respect that, but I don't want her to get burned out.
Right.
That's,
That's a lot to take on.
and if we're gonna add to it, with
Right.
permit staff.
Yeah, with her leaving,
I want her to be careful, but.
with her leaving that salary.
Support her. Yeah,
From the GIS, I think.
I felt better
her
when she said she
intent is
wanted.
to
Yes,
Eventually get somebody. She just is gonna try and see how she gets along, I think.
yeah,
Yeah, but with her, when the commissioner trying to see if they could take the permit. The granting the permits from Roger to her. I think so. Yeah, yes,
Mhm.
yeah,
Mhm.
no, at some point, we have to move it, be a bottom, we have to have standing alone. office.
Zoning permit type office.
Absolutely, and plan director, and understanding that plan director is not a bureaucrat, he or her is responsible to elected officials, which doesn't happen everywhere, it's not happening here.
I know a lot of people are concerned about more government, but I'm like you, Jim.
Look, first government got this.
Yeah,
I don't mean, we're all frustrated.
Right.
Yeah.
Express my frustration.
I think we're moving beyond being small in some areas.
Yes.
Because we have to have people that can protect the citizens in the county.
Yeah.
And I think we're setting ourselves up to be ran over the top of,
Yeah.
Yeah.
so.
But yeah, that's a good point about.
Yeah, I'm just, I wanna protect her well-being. I mean, yeah, she's very careful.
She has been.
Well,
Wow.
So we may want to kind of talk about that and we can.
yeah, when we started.
We're
getting
leaving
down
that
to the meat of it,
for now, I think, okay, but
we need to look at the long term.
let it know.
You know, we're going to have, at least 2 more meetings. So we may have to recall some people back in to do some explaining and have conversations. So,
So are we done then with all the departments? We are done. So the next.
Yeah.
Next meeting,
Yeah.
the 29th, we'll be. Talking about salaries and things like that, right?
mhm,
Mhm.
yeah, the 29th will,
Where we want to cut,
right? So like we have one the 29th, then we're going to have one on the 7th of October. And if everything goes smoothly, we can approve on the 14th. If not, that can be another discussion day with approval on the 20th. So. I will recess this meeting. Let me know when you're done.
Yeah.